I will be seeing if I can continue to solve my issues with my incidence angle analysis. All right. So I've decided to take another approach. Yes, the echo was my computer. Me looking at myself on Twitch. Shouldn't be an issue now, though. I've muted that. But the idea for today is to stop trying to see if the problem is my code, because I don't think it's my code. I'm starting to feel pretty sure it's with the data itself. So what I'm doing, hey Paranor. So what I'm thinking about doing today is taking two versions of the data. It's the same data. It's just that one of the data sets have been modified by some corrections I did a while ago. All right, so let me just do this really quickly, actually. So to quickly explain, to give background, incidence angle analysis is basically using the data or the annotations from CosmoQuest users that have been mapping craters on the images we have of the lunar surface. And so my plan is to determine whether or not the incidence angle, which is the angle at which sunlight hits the lunar surface, to see if that affects how our users are marking the craters. I have some analysis code, which is actually up on the screen right now in the top window. That's a part of the source code for the analysis code. And it's not exactly doing what I want it to do. Initially, I thought that the problem was with my analysis code, so I did a bunch of different tests, made a bunch of different visualizations to see if the problem was with the code itself, but I couldn't find any issues with the code. So now I'm kind of like left with the conclusion that the problem must be with the data itself. Is there buffering issues, guys? Has the buffering corrected itself? I noticed in chat that Peter... No need to apologize, Pamela. Let's see. All right, my connection was a little shaky there initially, but it looks like it's leveled out. Hopefully there's no more issues with buffering. All right. That's exactly what I wanted to hear. It seems like everyone's having a good time with the stream now. All right. So these are the tests that I'm going to do today. So to kind of show you what I've done so far, this is a output of the databases that I have on my personal copy or my personal setup of my SQL database that I have on my computer. And so I've made two different databases, both composed of essentially the same CosmoQuest data, but one of the databases has been modified. That is, I've made a few changes to some of the data entries. So the database entitled CosmoQuest is the database that I've made my personal changes to, and the database entitled CosmoQuest 2, no changes to. And so what I want to be able to do is see exactly how has my changes affected the way in which my analysis code analyzes the data. All right. With that said, and I have a few tests here. This is going to be my testing region for making sure things come out correctly. The very first test I'm going to do, so let's scroll back up top. All right. So Paranor says he knows my SQL. Well, then this will look somewhat familiar. So what I'm going to start off by doing is I'm going to access the data in CosmoQuest 2, well, that particular database. I'm going to go ahead and run my code and see exactly what the output is, and I'll make sure that you guys can see the output as well. So everything's set up. I should be able to compile it, then run it, and see what the output is. So while it compiles, let's also bring up an internet terminal. Oh, perfect. All right, so what I want to do now is go ahead and load up or navigate to LRO's WMS, which is basically their web map service image browser. This will allow me to see the images that I'm going to be testing. And to be more specific, now that I think about it, what I'm basically testing for right now is to see if my analysis code can properly identify regions in which two images that have an image at different incidence angle overlap one another. So I'm going to leave this up. My analysis code should be done compiling, and I'm going to go ahead and run it. And it'll take a little bit of time to run because of the fact that I have a lot of applications open. So we'll have to just be a little bit patient. And all right, first output. So basically what I'm outputting now to a PostScript file are representations of two sub-images that we have in our database. So to explain what a sub-image is, so to go back to our internet browser, let's go ahead and take this one, for example. So going back to our internet browser, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pull up an image of the image with the image ID of M115008450LE. And so as of right now, it's doing the search for this particular image. It's found it now. I can scroll down, I can go ahead and click on it, and it should give me a nice image of what this particular, let's make sure that you guys can see it as well. Okay, that's a really small, nice image, but if we zoom in, we can start to see the image a little bit better. And so this is the entire image. The image itself is about 52,000 pixels long in height and about 2,500 pixels long in width. So it's a fairly large image. And this is an image of a particular region on the surface of the moon. A sub-image within our database would correspond to a very, very, very small section of this image. Roughly, and we cut our sub-images up into three different slice sizes. In particular, I'm working strictly with the image sizes that are 450 pixels by 450 pixels. So it would be a very, very small section of this overall image. And part of the reason why we cut our images up is because, well, it makes it easier for our citizen scientists to identify craters. One, instead of having like throw them an entire image, throw them a small section of it and ask them to identify craters within that smaller section. And also we cut them up in different sizes because we want to be able to identify craters at different scales. All right, so what my analysis code is doing right now is it's taking essentially two sub-images that have been imaged by two different global images, and a global image is exactly as an example of what I'm showing you here. It takes two sub-images that have been imaged at that have been acquired from different global images. But the thing about these sub-images is that they would image the same area of the moon. And so my analysis code should be able to determine which sub-images overlap one another when taken at different incidence angles. All right, so let's go ahead and navigate back to this screen. And let's go ahead and look at this output file. I'm going to need to add. So this is the output file I get. I'm going to go ahead and put this to screen. So let's just call this plot. Makes it simple. And it's this one right here. All right. It's come out much larger than I wanted, but it's okay. And so basically, with the current database, the unaltered database, this is what this is what the overlap would look like according to my analysis code. Where the yellow image and the blue image are representations of two sub-images that each come from different global images. However, if I rerun the code, and eventually I will show you what the actual sub-images look like. I don't want to lose this copy, so I'm going to go ahead and just _1. I'm going to rerun the code, but this time I'm going to make a slight change. I'm going to change the database to the one that I've modified. Hey, Larry. Let's go back. So the change is very simple. All I have to do is get rid of the 2. Save it, recompile it, and run it. The funny thing about it, I thought being able to identify these overlapping sub-images would be like a simple task, but it's turned out to be much more of a headache than I really wanted it to be. But it's a part of science, I guess. You run into a problem, you solve it, and you keep trucking forward. All right, so it's compiled. I'm going to rerun the code. I'm not changing anything. I'm just going to rerun it again. The only thing I've really changed is the data that we're going to be analyzing. And essentially, the data is the same. I've just made, very small changes to the data. I'm not going to go into great detail what the changes were, but very small changes. And the changes I've made, of course, are acceptable. That is, I'm not doing anything scientifically unethical. All right, it's running. It should give me the exact same plot. Perfect. This time, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put that plot up as well. So let me go ahead and open it up. CosmoQuest. Just looking at something really quickly here. This is interesting. Let me check something out really quickly, guys. Something happened that it was completely unexpected, and I know that it should be different from what I'm seeing here. Nothing to recompile or anything. Let's do this. Let's actually clean it first. And now let's recompile. So when I reran it just now, I got the exact same plot, and I know I shouldn't get the exact same plot. Okay, a few warnings. I'm going to just rerun this. And this time, if I get the exact same plot, I'm going to actually make comparisons with the between the databases themselves. All right. Okay, this is worrisome. Let me look at something really quick. All right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to look at the entries for the global images in both the different databases, CosmoQuest and CosmoQuest 2. So let's go ahead and first use CosmoQuest, the one I've changed. And let's select star from images where name equals, and I'm going to quickly pull up, let's see, let's do the very first one, 115. And let's see what I get for this entry. It's an empty set. Oh, that's why, because it's image sets. All right. All right, so I'm getting this. All right. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to, so that was CosmoQuest. I'm going to change the database. So use CosmoQuest 2. And I'm going to run the exact same query. Nine two eight nine one three 2859. And as of right now, they're looking to look identical. But that's weird, though. They shouldn't look identical. And the reason why they shouldn't look identical is because I've made changes to my database. What I'm really hoping right now is in the process of uploading the new database, I'm hoping I didn't actually change the initial database. Well, my database that I had modifications to. I can get the changes back because I have a script that can go ahead and make the changes automatically, but all right, let's see. So I'm going to pull up another file here. And also quickly take a moment to look at comments because I'm just talking and are we going to see emails leak? No, we're not. No user information is gonna show up here. All right, so what I'm doing now, I'm going to go ahead and upload. Let's change this. And where is that? Text edit. Okay, that's weird. You guys are probably hearing my fire alarm going off right now, which is a very weird thing to happen. I'm going to go ahead and turn the sound down and see what's going on. Of all things to happen, fire alarm goes off. My wife is currently handling the problem. But until the fire alarm goes up, I'm going to keep the sound off. So, the fire alarms have went off, and we have no idea why they went off in the first place. Okay, I am back. That was really bizarre. I don't know what that was about, but it's over. Okay, so there's no fires in the house. Um, the fire alarms just went off randomly. I don't know what was up with that. It's the first time it's ever done that before. But I'm happy to know that they're off now and there's no problem. All right, so let's actually get back to science. um, hmm. Again? Oh, this is funny. Okay, they came back on and now they're back off. I don't know what's going on, guys. There might be a ghost in here somewhere. Alright, so I'm just going to pray and hope that that doesn't happen again, and I can continue with the stream. Okay. So my objective here was to go ahead and see exactly what sort of changes should have been applied to CosmoQuest, that database in particular. That was an example of when a stream goes terribly wrong. Alright. So, So I end up pulling this up. And so this particular window that I'm showing you here corresponds to all the changes that I've made to the database. And so what I'm going to go ahead and do is scroll down to what should have been the changes for my version of the database. So this is what's interesting. For this particular image, I removed 80 pixels in the X dimension, and the update should reflect, this is exactly what I thought. I should be seeing only 9,209 pixels because I removed 80 pixels in the X dimension. However, for my copy of the database, let's just go back to my text editor. Let's just move this down. It's weird. It's very weird because it's actually showing, let's make sure this is the same database. This is CosmoQuest 2. So CosmoQuest should show, this is what's weird. It's showing 9,289, so I think what I end up doing was I end up overwriting the version of the database in which I made modifications to. Alright, well this is an easy fix. I'm just going to run this script and all should be right in the world. Before doing so, let me make sure that there's nothing else here. Those are all commented out. Alright, cool. So I should just be able to run this script and everything should work out just fine. So let's do this. Let's make this executable first. So let's navigate. Any one of these would actually work. This is stored, I should be in creator projects. And there it is. So chmod, which allows me to go ahead and modify the permissions on a file or a group of files. In this case, I'm just going to use 7, I think 4.4 should do. So 7 basically will give me the ability to read, write, as well as execute a particular file. And the 4s are for other people who happen to have access to my computer that aren't me, for their particular accounts. So 744 database. That should make it executable. I think I should just be able to do this. Oh, wait. Stupid me. I believe this is something that has to be done inside of... Oh, no. This is something that has to be done inside of MySQL. And I already have a version of it up right here. So this isn't a bash script. Let's do this. So I'm going to go ahead and upload these changes. Root. Again, that won't work. So let's go ahead and change the database. So use CosmoQuest. And to kind of test it, I'm going to go ahead and do the very first modification. And this can actually simply be done by copying and pasting the code into the terminal window. It's not the most elegant way of doing it, but it should work just fine. I have to end the delimiter. Raid? Oh god. Alright guys. Alright, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna copy and paste all of this code. So let's just do a select all. I'm gonna copy it and I'm gonna paste it into the terminal window. So it should have made all the changes that I needed. Let's go ahead and see if it's actually made the modifications. So we're going to go ahead and pull up. So select star from image sets where name equals. Let me quickly find what the name of the file was. It was M1. It was M15, but actually I have it here. It didn't make the modifications. Okay. Huh. It should have. Let's try specifically seeing what it will do if I do this. Copy this first part, which declares all of my variables. Enter. I'm going to scroll down to where I actually make the modification to M115. That's not the one I want. That's M111. M115 is the one I want. So you guys can't see what I'm doing right now, but I'm basically scrolling through the script that I wrote. Here, but you will be able to see me copy and paste the information. That should be that. Enter. I should be able to go down to the very bottom. Should be able to end this. I did begin it, right? End it. But it's claiming that 0 rows are affected. For ID equals 10. This is weird. Update image set details. Where ID equals. Huh. Alright, so I need to figure out exactly why is it not working the way I want it to work. So basically what I'm trying to tell MySQL to do is modify the details entry for this particular global image. And for some reason it's not doing it. Right, I'm stupid. I'm so stupid. It's been a while since I've done this. I've created a procedure to do this. So I need to run the procedure to be able to actually, for it to work. So what I was doing was correct. As you guys can tell, I am not an expert at MySQL. But basically, I created a procedure to be able to do this, task. So if I redo it, it'll run, it'll create the procedure. And so now what I need to do is actually run my procedure. And I think I run it by just simply saying what the procedure name is. So the procedure name is correct underscore CosmoQuest. And one of you guys that probably was even telling me, like, Matt, run the procedure, run the procedure. This is the reason why I need to, like, constantly watch out for the chat. So run CosmoQuest underscore MySQL underscore table. I think I do that. Okay. You know what? I'm gonna go online because the procedure is already within the database or within the MySQL. So let's do this. Running. Oh no, no, no. Really? I'm going to mute myself for now, but I'm going to continue to keep working. I think my wife figured it out. She went to the garage and did something, and now the sound stopped. So, but while it was going off, my kids are in the background, like, they're in the background screaming right along with their alarm. But yeah, I figured out what the issue was. I have to call the procedure. So, oh wow, you guys can't see the bottom of that, actually. Let's modify this really quick so you can see everything. So, I went ahead, I've called it, it's running right now. And hopefully, everything should be okay. So yeah, my wife just informed me that the issue is indeed in the garage. And it might be my fault, I don't know. I like to work on my car a lot out there, and I don't know if I may have done something to... Okay, it's not that. Okay, I'm happy to hear that. It's not me. It's not my fault. Um, okay, so everything should have went through, and now I should be able to check. Select star from image sets where name equals... I need to go ahead and retrieve that name again, the image ID name. This should be it. All right, run it, and there it is. It's changed now. It's no longer 9289, but it's 9209. And so with that done, I need to go ahead and... I shouldn't have to recompile my code because I didn't make any changes to my code. It should still be, and so you guys, hopefully you guys can see everything I'm seeing. Perfect. That should still be set to CosmoQuest. And the database that I changed should still also be CosmoQuest. So now I should be able to run my code again. All it's going to do is reproduce the exact same file I was trying to reproduce earlier. And you'll be able to see the differences between the two plots. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to set things up so that you guys can see the differences. So let's go here. I need to navigate over to incidence angle analysis bin. All right, that's that. That's that. Let's go ahead and bring this one up. And so this is the unchanged database. And then the other one, which should now have loaded. Okay, yes, those look different. All right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to upload the two plots so you can see what my changes have done. I'm going to start up a new scene. That's cool. I can leave that. Window capture, I'll just call this plot 1. And this is going to be the one that's been unchanged. All right, so this particular plot represents two sub-images in which the boundaries of the sub-images have been generated from data from the unchanged copy of CosmoQuest's MySQL database. But with my changes, the plot becomes, so I'm going to add a new plot, plot 2. Now with the new changes, and again, this is the exact same two images. Unfortunately, you guys cannot see the image names at this All right. And so basically with my changes, all I've done was essentially taken the blue sub image and I've shifted it. Well, I've actually done a little bit more than that, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. I've also modified the yellow sub, the representation of the image represented by the yellow box as well. But the key thing is this: neither one of these plots are correct. The plot on the left, and again, these are the same two sub images. Neither plot's correct. However, the modifications that I've made to the database so far, which are represented in the second plot on the right, I would like to say is a little bit more correct than the plot on the left. And the reason why I'm saying this is because when I actually compare the actual images themselves, you'll see I'm kind of getting closer to what the overlap region should be. And let me pull that up so I can explain it a little bit better, actually. So I think I actually might have these plots somewhere else, and I can just load them up. Let's look at comments for a second. Yeah, I think my wife, who kind of doubles as a firefighter, kind of like went and solved the issue. I put the fire out. But no, guys, there was no fire or anything like that. It's just that, I don't know, something was probably going on in the garage that was causing the fire alarm to go off out there, which I guess triggered all the rest of the fire alarms in the house, which is weird. But I'm happy that it's no longer, well, I'm hoping that it's no longer an issue, at least throughout the duration of this stream. All right, so the plan here was to go ahead and actually grab the two images. But really, the whole purpose of me pursuing this particular, or doing what I'm doing right now, is that I believe that my modifications made the database better. However, I might need to go back and either revise the modifications I've made or make new modifications, different modifications. And again, all the modifications I'm doing to the database are perfectly okay. And so what I'm doing right now is, interesting. I'm actually pulling up an email because I've already outlined where the overlap region should be in this email that I'm pulling up right now. You can't see me pulling up the email, but I'm pulling it up so I can go ahead and download those images from that email to my computer and then show them to you. Oh, this is perfect. I'll just download all this information. Hopefully it goes directly to my desktop. Makes things easier. And back to OBS. Oh, you guys can see exactly what I was doing. Well, somewhat see what I was doing in the background. All right. Well, that's perfectly okay. You probably saw that my mailbox is also a little bit cluttered. All right. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to essentially, I guess yeah, I'm going to still pull those plots up. So let's do this. They should be on the desktop. So let me open them first. New tab, desktop. They should be there. Perfect. Overlap. That's good. And then also the other two plots or images. All right, going back. Sorry guys for taking so long. This is going to be actually plot number 3. So where are you? Overplot.png. All right. So this is another visualization that my algorithm does. And so based off of how, what's the best way to explain this? Essentially what we're seeing in this plot down here that I'm moving around, it's essentially the same information that we're seeing in the plot in the upper right. However, I've done a few things to be able to get a sense of how much bigger the one image is compared to the other. But the green shading in this particular plot, the plot in the bottom, corresponds to where the images should overlap, which is really no different than what we're seeing in the plot on the right in the top. But like I said earlier, it's still wrong, but it gets better at it actually getting to where the overlap region should be. So I'm going to pull up 2 more images. So image 1. Where are you? This can be image. That is not right. It's weird. I thought I just pulled it up though. It's not that one. Sorry about that. I pulled the wrong image there. I'm seeing now that I have way too many images open here. Let's see. That's okay, I see now what this should be. All right. And so I can actually concentrate on these images in particular, because these are the actual images that are being annotated by our users. I see that my fire alarms here have sparked a conversation here. Well, that makes sense. Firefighters and police being trained in first aid. Well, definitely firefighters. But it is a good thing to know that police are also trained in first aid. Oh, Tom! You're from Illinois. I was actually born and raised in Chicago. Alright, so I wanted to go ahead and pull up the other image as well. So actually, guys, I'm going to be on a lot longer today because I actually want to, I guess, walk through what sort of changes I'm going to end up making. So image 2, this one. Let's kind of shrink this down. And so really what I want to do now is show that these 2 images actually do overlap, but they don't correspond to the region in which they should overlap. So basically, everything within the red box on the left, within the left image, overlaps with everything in the box, in the red box in the right image. And I can show this by zooming in a little bit here. Let's see, so preview. Let's move this here. Let's move. I showed this in one of the past streams, but the whole point of me doing this now is so that you guys can understand what I'm trying to do here. So yeah, everything within the red box in the left image is exactly, more or less exactly the same as everything in the red box in the right image. It might be a little difficult to see because the The right image looks a little bit more blurry as I zoom in more and more. But the general features that are within these two boxes are the same. All right, so with that said, my overall plan here is to now take the version of the database that has not been changed and slowly modify it and see exactly how my modifications, like step-by-step modifications, are either improving or making the determination of how images should overlap, improving it or making it worse. And hopefully at the same time I can kind of get an idea of how I should be making these changes. Better, that is. Alright. So I'm going to get rid of all this stuff because I don't need it, really. Oh, you're in Joliet. Cool. I think my sister now lives... No, well, wait. No. My sister... Because I can't remember exactly. I think Joliet is south. But my sister now lives out near Richardson Park. But yeah, Chicago. The city that swings. I don't know if that should be the phrase that should be used with Chicago nowadays. When I first moved out here to Nashville, when I first moved to Nashville, I mean, I would tell everybody and say with pride, like, I'm from Chicago. But nowadays I just tell people I'm a Nashvilleian, or I'm from Clarksville. All right, yeah, 40 miles southwest of Chicago, right? All the Blues Brothers are from Joliet. Is that the case? So while we talk about other stuff, I'm going to continue to keep working. But, of course, side conversations are always welcome. I actually need to get used to being able to hold up another conversation and get work done at the same time. So, guys, feel free to talk about whatever. I'm just going to stay on, though. I think Astronomy Cast will be at 2 o'clock today. So I will be cutting off well before then. But I'm just going to keep working. And try to keep up with the conversation as well in the chat. So I'm getting rid of all this stuff. And hopefully that'll also allow my computer to free up some resources that are needed for other things. Let's see. We're going to go back here. All right, so what I'm going to do now... Let's do this. So that script I showed you guys earlier. Okay, Astronomy Cast was already recorded. Right, someone told me this earlier, actually. Right, that was what you guys were talking about earlier with the with sending. I think someone said something along the lines of sending a payload towards Pluto to blow it up. But yeah, when you guys said, yeah, so it was you, Peter, right? When you said that, it reminded me of a problem I did a while ago, where the objective was to, so is that the amount of, what sort of explosive would that be? And I think the whole idea is that you calculate the gravitation, the self gravitational potential energy of Pluto in this case, and whatever sort of explosive you use to blow it up, it would need to have the amount of energy that's equivalent to or greater than the self gravitational potential energy of Pluto to actually make it break apart. Let's get rid of this screen as well. I don't need this. All right. So yeah, I was going to go ahead and pull back up that script that I had earlier to make the changes to the database. And from what I can tell, it looks like the images need to be shifted more. So I'm gonna specifically concentrate on these two, or the master images from which these two sub images originate from. All right, so of course you guys cannot see what I'm looking at here, so let's put script. Where is it? There it is. I'm gonna minimize this a little bit. And so these two images come from, or the two sub images, let's see, come from this master image. Oh wait, this information here. So what's interesting is this. I can quite easily fix this problem by simply shifting. Oh no, it's coming back. All right, guys, it's off now. Again, like I said, my wife figured it out earlier. She's redoing what she did. It's off. But I'm going to end the stream now. But before I go, I wanted to give you guys an update on what's going to be happening now with CosmoQuest Astro office hours. So the plan is now for me and Joe to do a joint stream together where we talk about topics in astrophysics. And I mean, not like really advanced stuff, but just like basic information. Kind of like the stuff that you'd encounter in an Astro 101 course. So that will be the plan now going forward with the streams that occur after daily space on Wednesdays and Fridays. And so we plan on starting next week, Wednesday, after daily space. I think I'm going to post the topic of the discussion on the weekly Space Hangout Cruise Slack. So those of you who have access to that will be able to know exactly what the topic will be beforehand. But yeah, that's the plan now. And so, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me. I mean, not only today, especially with all the crazy sounds going on in the background, but just hanging out with me with all the other past CosmoQuest Astro Office Hour streams. Where we worked through various problems. Me talking about the research I'm doing. So yeah, guys, thank you a lot. I will be back next Wednesday, but it will be me and Joe, and we're going to be having some fun talking about some cool topics in astronomy. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and log off now. So I will see you guys next week, Wednesday. All right, guys, bye.